In this video, I'm going to show you how I used a conversation with AI to create this 3D print. Here's the problem. My current feeder is a disaster. The chicks are wasting a lot of their feed, pulling nearly half of it onto the floor where it just sits and rots. My goal today is to design a feeder that lets the chicks reach the food, but prevents them from scratching it out. So I'm going to be using Gemini, but you could use a different AI like Claude or ChatGPT to do this. I will also be using OpenSCAD, which is a free CAD software for reviewing the design and exporting the files that I'll need for printing. I want to make a 3D printable chick feeder that doesn't waste a bunch of feed. I want it to be something that I can put inside some kind of container or bucket, and it should be about a 1.5 inch opening, and maybe using like a tunnel that's 1.5 inches deep, and maybe have it angled down at like 45 degrees or so. Can you also output a script in OpenSCAD of this design? We'll go ahead and copy the code for this design and paste it in an OpenSCAD. All right, so here's our first look at this design. Um, it's got some obvious issues here. There's a big old hole where the flange meets that. Um, Maybe we're going to ask it to fill this in and maybe put some holes for mounting it to whatever I decide to attach this to. There's a hole in the port where that tunnel joins with the flange. Also, can you add some screw holes along the flange for mounting? So this design looks pretty close to what I was thinking. We still have a little hole in here, and this one screw hole isn't going to be accessible, so I'll have to ask it to move that over some. There's still a little bit of a hole between the tunnel and the flange. Also, some of the holes for screws for mounting the flange won't be accessible because they're blocked by that tunnel. Can you move the screw holes so that they're all accessible? So it looks like we still have a little bit of a gap there. I like the mounting holes better though. There's still a little bit of a gap left between the tunnel and the flange. Okay, this looks pretty good. Um, yeah, I don't see any obvious issues with this. I think we can maybe this looks a little thick for 3D printing. I don't think I need it that thick, especially if it's just a prototype. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it to make the walls a little bit thinner. I think the walls are thicker than they need to be, especially for a prototype. Can we make the walls a little thinner? Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and try printing this and test it out, see how well it works. I'm happy with the way that the feeder has turned out. It has dramatically reduced the amount of feed wasted, and it didn't take much printing filament to make, nor did it take much time to design it with using AI to help me out. I hope this video inspires you to create something on your own. even if you don't have any experience with CAD. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me in the comments and I'll try my best to respond.